Hello, Mary. It's fine to hear you for this interview. And you are at home in Australia and you're on board of the Edgar Mitchell Foundation. You have been researching for UFO phenomenon of the subject of abduction for decades. In the process, you have come across some astonishing facts. You have written very important books, Awakening and a New Human, and Awakening for a Cosmic Heritage. And could you tell about it?
Absolutely. Thank you, Nipanak, for inviting me to speak to your listeners, your audience. What I'd like to say is that in 25 plus years, I've worked with 3,500 approximately families, children, who are all telling me similar accounts of their interaction with non-human intelligences. And sometimes these are very physical, sometimes they're interdimensional, extra-dimensional, trans-dimensional, some from our future. So this is very complex, I've discovered, over that length of time. The main thing that I would like to say is these are genuine people. These are stories that are very real to them. And they will often wake up with marks on their body. They will talk about seeing the beings. They will tell me what they're taught on spacecraft. They will show me images and drawings of the beings that they see. So for them, it is extremely real. Their difficulty is being on a planet where people don't understand, where people are fearful, or people don't believe them, or people think they're crazy. And so my job is to help them understand with information, to give them validation of their experience, and to help them find a way to understand it in a healthy way so they can get on with their lives, even though they are more aware than most other humans because of the fact that we're not told the truth.
Oh, it's a great work for these children and for these people. Are there already other mainstream scientists who are interested in this topic?
Regarding now, we are getting more and more from mainstream that are coming on board with this. Because I think sometimes it's because they've had experiences. And, they are a physicist or, a PhD in microbiology or a PhD in biology or a medical doctor or a clinical psychologist or whatever. And they are having experiences and they don't know because of their profession what to do about it, because their profession is saying this isn't real, but they're experiencing it. So we've got some very high level scientists that are having, I think, encounters or experiences and are looking at a way to understand it. And the interesting thing is we now have a model that explains this through the quantum hologram, which many scientists now believe is more of a true reality than the one that we've been taught or educated to believe is just a 3D reality where unless you can touch, feel, see and hear it, it's not real. Whereas they're saying there is a quantum reality where intuition, seeing things beyond the norm is okay because it's part of that quantum reality.
You have already young people to speak the star language. Can you talk about it?
What has been interesting for me when I'm asked, well, what's the reality? Because they can't bring bits of the spacecraft back with them, is that they change in transformative ways. And one of the ways is they will write in strange script. They may do strange artwork. They may bring in music that they tune into, or they may speak what we call a star language or light language or universal language. And I have got recordings of children, even at 5 years old, speaking the light language to their parents. And I remember one particularly, a 9-year-old, whose mother said, my son is always speaking light language to me. And I answer him in light language, but he can translate it, but I don't know what I'm saying. So this has become very common. There are many healers now healing with light language. In my book, The New Human, there is a medical doctor speaking light language to activate DNA who lives in Melbourne, Dr. Marie Batchelor. So this is becoming very much a part of what connects us to these non-human intelligences.
You have these people around the world. Is this right, so?
The interesting thing is that I will get emails from all over the globe, from Africa, from South America, Alaska, right, Mexico, and North America, Northern Europe, Scandinavia, of course, Europe as well. People are writing to me because they don't always know who to go to. And they've seen maybe, some of my interviews or videos and will write to me to get support.
What is the message about these people to the mankind?
One of the main things is that they are telling us humans to stop destroying the planet. Because this is where, if we do things on this planet, they are affected as well as us. Okay. And they're also saying that we need to now look at treating each other in a different way, because I think many people know that the way that we are behaving on this planet at the moment, with the wars, with the way we pollute, where money and power is considered important, whereas they're saying that this is more about humanity growing up, becoming mature, becoming more spiritually aware and evolving into a higher frequency, so then we can join them in the galactic community. But they don't want children. They don't want aggressive children in the galactic community. They want us to be grown up and mature and responsible for our actions amongst each other, and how we treat animals, how we are with everything that is conscious.
It shows us we are not alone in the universe and not alone in these dimensions and in other realities. And what is the next steps in this research?
I think that what I was seeing, and why I wrote the book, The New Human, is that each generation is an advance, an upgrade of human, because many of the encounters go through the genetic line, and each generation seems to be more aware, more conscious. And the children being born now, in the last 15, 20 years, show abilities and awareness that has not been normal in previous generations. They are a lot more multidimensionally aware. They will see orbs of light. They will see spirits. They will see energy fields. They'll be seeing these beings. They are aware they're being taken up on spacecraft and being taught things, for example. They are aware of where they came from in another incarnation, like other planets. They will tell me what planet it was and what their job was. And they say they've come here to help this planet evolve into a higher aware conscious species.
Yes, I think so. More and more people talk about his experiences with non-human intelligence, and see UFOs, and talk about spirits, and talk about these things, and the scientists think about how is it possible to get out of the body, and so on, and near-death experiences, out of the body experiences. All of these things is the next step in the scientists, in humankind.
I think we have always had the potential to be more multidimensional, but over the centuries, our programming has shut that down. We've been programmed into a box that says this is not okay. But more and more people now are waking up and exploring consciousness and allowing themselves to expand. And we've got those that have near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences. They're doing, astral traveling, for example, or they're doing shamanic exercises to wake that part of themselves up. So there are many ways now that we are expanding consciousness, and people are being, if you like, I think, awakening to that possibility. And this is what I think is the awakening. People are seeing beyond the 3D to a greater reality now and wanting to explore it and be part of it.
You think the Asperger syndrome and etc. is more awakening for the people?
That's a very good question regarding the labels that people have seen as a potential dysfunction, when I believe these are upgrade humans. The ADHD, Asperger's, dyslexia, some forms of autism, they're wired differently for a reason. I believe they're wired differently because it's to stop them being programmed into this limited box that the older generations have been programmed into. So they have different wiring, and that different wiring gives them more ability to access their multidimensional selves. But it's misunderstood on this planet because we say, oh, they're dysfunctional because they can't operate the way we do. We're the older models. We're the dysfunctional ones, not them.
Okay, it's a hope for the new thinking about the greater reality, and I hope you have a lot of new people to contact you to research these things. And I think we have to speak in the next time about the details of this work for you. And when come you to Germany or to Europe?
I would love to come to Germany. I have a lot of inquiries from Germany, as well as Spain and Italy and Holland. So I think when this craziness on this planet settles down, hopefully I can then come, and I'd love to have a chance to have a nice cup of tea or a cup of coffee with you, Nepomuc. That'd be lovely.
What do you think about hybrids?
Interestingly, a lot of the children being born over the last 20 years identify with being hybrids. And they will say that they're hybrids. And the reason they say that is because they're a lot more awake to their genetic heritage. In fact, we're all hybrids, I believe, because we are, from everything that I've learned in my research, we're a combination of indigenous DNA and star heritage. That are these star beings that we called gods were not gods, they were extraterrestrials, and they added to our genes to give us the hybrid Homo sapiens sapiens. And what's happening now is the children being born are far more aware of their star heritage. So they may say, I'm part human, I'm part Arcturian, I'm part Orion, I'm part Pleiadian, or whatever, because that part of their genetic makeup is activated. And what's happening is that we have all of that too, but it's not activated. And when it does get activated, then we will connect more to our star heritage.
I think the frequencies are activated tool of this DNA in our body. Is it possible?
I believe it's all about frequency. Nikola Tesla said everything was about vibration and frequency. What's happening is there are lots of frequencies hitting the planet now, cosmologically, but also the children coming in are bringing in those frequencies. They're also bringing the frequencies in through music from these beings. They're also bringing the frequencies through light language, star language. They're bringing the frequencies through art. When you look at certain art, it activates your perceptions. So they're bringing it in through a myriad of ways to activate humans to wake up.
Yes, it's very interesting, all these things. Mary, I think we are at the end of the interview, and I hope you are well the next time in Australia. And I hope you see us in the next year in Germany or in Europe. And thank you so much for this interview.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Anytime, Nepomuc, it's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.